Welcome back to the Shy City Boys podcast. With me, as always, is Jack Thiel, and I am Carl Liza. Jack, once again, we went on hiatus, but how you doing?
We're doing good. It was a reasonable one, but
Yeah,
we're back. A lot of content. Carl's got his mic. He's
I do.
acting like he's
I
announcing
got
the
the
Chicago.
camera.
He's acting like he is the PA announcer of the Chicago Bulls back in the 1990s, but we're doing good. A lot has happened
From
since we
North
last talked.
Carolina.
Carl also has dyed his hair a different color.
Oh, can't prove that.
Yeah, we can, but Carl's a different man. It feels like every podcast he's changing.
One little thing at a time till I'm perfect,
Next
which
thing you
will
know,
never
next thing you
be.
know, you're gonna have a nose piercing.
I'm thinking about getting my ears pierced, honestly.
I thought they already were, to be honest with you.
What? You thought they were?
Yeah, I already thought you had like stubs or something.
No, I'm thinking about it.
If
And
I
like,
looked if I looked at you, I feel like I would see you have earrings on, or
I'm
like
gonna
a
get a
stub,
tattoo right here.
or an actual tattoo people can see. You mean?
Yeah, instead of the one on my arm, that's a little lightning bolt.
Yeah, flash, more like thunderbolt.
Oh, thanks.
Oh,
Okay,
come on.
let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's start off with probably the hottest news today. Let's start with the baseball news.
Hmm.
We're gonna start with probably the biggest signing so far of Jacob DeGrom signing with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah,
What do you think about that, Jack?
I mean, obviously that's good for Texas. I mean, they've got a great team. Adolis Garcia, Jonathan Heim are two guys that have proven that they're going to be in the league for a while. You obviously have Seager and Simeon. Those two in the shortstop, second base combo are lethal. And now you have Jacob DeGrom. And what is a good rotation? I think people have to remember Martin Perez is also in that rotation, who had a all-star season last year and 3 under ERA. John Gray showed some signs of life, and then I believe they just signed Andrew Heaney as well. So, Texas, they're not there yet, but like they're doing the right things. Now, I don't know what else they'll do. I don't know how much more money they have because they have three guys that eat up a lot of money,
Uh-huh.
and we'll see.
Yeah.
But it's interesting by DeGrom. I think that, you look at a guy like him, Texas is like they're not there yet. You leave the Mets who are there, and you go to Texas who isn't there. But maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe he just likes the team. Maybe it's some I don't know, but I think this will be interesting to see. I am a little pissed that he's in the American League because the White Sox never have to worry about him since he's in the NL. But obviously health will be the biggest question around him. Can he stay healthy?
Absolutely with the
I
health thing.
think it was
But
a shocker.
it absolutely was. A lot of people had him going there, and a lot of them had him going staying with the Mets. But he signed a 5-year, $185 million contract with a 6-year option that would make it 200, no, 215 million. I want to say
Yeah, you're on the right ballpark with
I'm
it.
around the right ballpark. But to replace him in New York, the New York Mets signed Justin Verlander to a 2-year deal worth 86.66 million with an option for a third year.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I really did.
Yeah,
I thought he would go back to Houston. They won it. I maybe the money wasn't there. I mean, they did sign Jose Abreu, and they are still looking at other guys. They have a great rotation even without Verlander.
yeah.
And who needs a pitcher now? The Mets do. I mean, even
They needed.
they lost Tejan Walker, they lost DeGrom right now, obviously. So they needed a guy. And look, I don't think Verlander is going to have the season he just had with the Mets. I mean, what he did was remarkable, especially after all the surgeries and how old he is. But I mean, it's a good signing for New York. You get a guy like him. I don't think they'll be done yet, but you find someone who can replace DeGrom. And I know that sounds crazy, but Verlander, when he's healthy, has almost put up those similar numbers. I mean, this year he was a Cy Young in the American League, and it was a heated race. So you credit to the Mets; they jumped right on the ship when things didn't look good for them. I know they want Aaron Judge, which they probably won't get either. So they're missing out a couple guys, and they're able to get their guy in Justin Verlander. So him and Max Scherzer back together as teammates in their Detroit Tiger days. So
Yeah, I was
maybe
gonna
they'll have
say
more success.
Yeah, they went from Scherzer and DeGrom to Scherzer and Verlander,
Yeah,
which
I
some
mean
would say is
it's hard.
DeGrom and Verlander are on the same par. They say.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I think DeGrom is just always health. Like that's the biggest question mark with him and Verlander. He had
he's
that.
coming. He's
He
still
had
coming
the
off that
Tommy John, and he still was
Tommy
healthy
John.
last year, though. I mean, he
Yeah.
missed a couple of starts, but that's expected after that kind of surgery, your first year. So,
But the
I,
first year he comes back and he wins the Cy Young is
yeah, that's. I mean,
crazy.
like I said, I don't think he'll do it again like that, but I do think he's a guy who will throw under, a 3 under ERA. Definitely going to win you some games, and when you go in October, you're going to trust him.
Oh yeah, that 1-2 punches might be even more deadly than the ground segment. But let's move on. Next big move. So a lot of people speculated this. Trey Turner going to the Philadelphia Phillies. 11 years, 300 million.
He,
Full and it's a full no trade clause.
he's back with his former teammate Bryce Harper.
Yes, from the
You,
Nationals.
you love what the Phillies are doing here because look, the Phillies have been in the World Series. Probably not. They weren't the best team in the NL last year, but
They were just the
made that
hottest.
run. They made that run, and
Yeah.
it's who gets hot in the playoffs. That's all that matters. So what do? You get better. I mean, you get, in my opinion, the best shortstop in the game, and Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, obviously. And they have all these guys coming back. So I really like how aggressive the Phillies were. They know their time is right now. 11 years, I was a little shocked to hear about that. It was
Yeah,
also interesting that the Padres offered him more money. Now, that might be because if you do go to San Diego, that position may not be yours because Tatis is still there. So they might have told him, look, you're our shortstop, but when Tatis comes back, you're the second baseman or something like that. But Trey
yeah,
Turner, full time shortstop with the Phillies. I'm very excited to see that team. I think the Phillies will be the NL favorites now.
yeah. That's wild. It's crazy. I personally thought he was going to like St. Louis. That was my worst fear.
I think just being with Bryce Harper was a
Yeah,
really big like pitch for him. I
yeah.
think that
I
run it
I
back.
personally do not like the 11 years
Yeah,
because it goes into his 40th year of life, 40-year birthday. But he's a guy who's very dependent on speed,
yeah.
and maybe the first 5 years, 5, 6 years of the contract's going to be okay. But once he hits 35, 36, dude, though he's not going to be able to do that.
I mean,
He's
we'll
not
see.
going to be able to steal 30 bases a year.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I do think that the Phillies they weren't that fast of a team last year, and they still played
Yeah.
well. I mean, Kyle
Oh yeah.
Schwarber was their leadoff man, but now you're able to insert Trey Turner, Nicholas Castellanos, JT Realmuto, Reese Hoskins, Bryce Harper, Alec Bohm. People are forgetting about him. This is a team that's loaded, and in my opinion, they have a top five lineup, but they also have like a top five rotation. I mean, they're
Oh yeah.
loaded. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and now Tejan Walker. That's a three-headed
He
monster.
lost Zach Efton though.
And yeah, but still, I mean, when you
Oh
have
yeah.
to face that's a three-headed monster. And
Mhm.
I really like what the Phillies are doing. They were right there. I mean, we watched it. They had a chance. They were winning that
Yeah,
series, and they know that.
absolutely.
Look, Astros got Jose Abreu. They're getting better, so we need to get
Mhm.
better. So I like the aggressive approach.
Jack, division rival of yours signed someone kind of big, Josh Bell, going to the Guardians, 2 years,
Yeah,
33 million,
he's gonna
with
kill
an
the White Sox.
with an opt out after the first year.
I'm a big fan of Josh Bell. He's going to kill the White Sox. He's a good player. People forget like this guy has power. Like, he can hit the crap out of the baseball. So I think for the Guardians, I mean they won the division and now they're getting better. They're being aggressive and you can't. And that's not a bad deal. I mean it's a team friendly deal. Switch hitting first base when you gotta love. And I just like that. I mean, I hate to say it, but I like that move for the Guardians. It's a smart move, and they needed it.
Oh yeah. So on to the next one. This one hits home for me. The Cubs signed former MVP of the National League, Cody Bellinger, 1 year, 17.5 million. Now, before you say anything, I'm gonna go in.
All right.
Okay. So a lot of people are saying 17 and a half for 1 year for a guy who's been slumming the last 3 years is a bad deal. But you got to remember, he is a former MVP. He's not even 30 yet. He just needed a new change of scenery, I think. He I'm thinking of this as like the Jock Peterson move from 2 years ago, where we signed him and then he fucking balled out for us and then we traded him because we weren't in playoff contention. But I think once a little bit more in the episode, I'll tell you why I don't think we'll trade him. But I think it's a really good move. He's gonna be a starter for us the whole season if he's healthy. He's gonna be an everyday guy. Hopefully he fucking smacks 30 home runs. Hopefully he's a good contact guy for us. And he's just a good locker room guy for us. And we needed that. We needed a veteran who knows how to play the game, who can get out of a slump in Wrigley Field. And I think it's just a match made in heaven for the 1 year.
You know, I think they spent too much. As we know, Cody Bellinger has been one of the worst hitters the last 3 years. I mean, and it sucks to see that because the dude raked his MVP season. I mean, the season he had when he won the MVP was amazing. I mean, he was crushing that baseball, but he's just not that guy anymore. And, what's so bad about his last 3 years is Jason Hayward is statistically a better hitter than Cody Bellinger the last 3 seasons. And look, I get it. It's a 1 year prove it deal, change of scenery.
That's what he wanted.
But the thing is, it's like if I were the Cubs, I would have signed him for more years. Like you said, he's young.
No, he only wanted a 1 year deal.
But
he literally was not looking at anything more.
I wouldn't like that from a player that's that young. I mean, I get it. He wants to prove it, but Chicago's not the place to go. I'm not even saying this from a Cubs standpoint. I'm saying this from a Chicago standpoint. If you know baseball, it's hard to hit the ball out in Chicago, especially in those winter or early months because it's cold out. And that's just true. That's the ball flies when it's warm out. Like it doesn't fly when it's cold out. We know, like that's a fact. So
Oh, God, sorry.
I just don't like this. I like what the Cubs are trying to do. I mean, I get it. Like you're trying to get back to that Cody Bellinger that won the MVP. I mean, that guy is a top 5 outfielder if you can get into that. But this guy has a broken swing. I mean, his swing is so ugly. It's just his mechanics are so off. And you really just a lot of hope. And I mean, you said it, he's an everyday player for them. I mean, he's a starter. And you wonder what else the Cubs will do because obviously there's been rumors about them getting more guys, but
I'm about to go in.
I am surprised that Bellinger did not want to go to San Francisco. And that makes me say that Aaron Judge could be going there because he was heavily rumored to go to San Francisco. And I really thought he might go there because that's a team that fits his needs, especially right field. So the fact that he didn't go there tells me something. I know they just signed Mitch Haniger, but maybe that he believes Aaron Judge is going there. Now we did have the false report of Aaron Judge going to the Giants, and then Cody Bellinger signs with the Cubs right after. But look, I get what the Cubs are trying to do, and if it works, I mean, it's a great deal. It's 1 year, 17 million, 17.5 million. Fans are happy, but I can see this going really bad for them. I think Bellinger, at best, is a 230 hitter. Give him 15, 20 home runs and 60, 70 RBIs.
Okay. I feel like a lot of teams called for Cody Bellinger. I feel like he had a lot of opportunities to go to a playoff contender, championship window wide open. I think he wanted to come to Chicago. I think there's a reason he wanted to play every day, which honestly, most teams he would have played every day. I feel like he came to Chicago because he sees if he does well here, he's going to sign for more years. He just wanted to have a prove it deal. He knows he sucked the last 3 years.
Sucks.
He
still does. He still sucks.
Okay, whatever. But I feel like he just wanted to sign. He wanted to be in Chicago. He wanted to be with the Cubs. Just like how I'm going to go back to it. Just like how Jock Peterson wanted to be in Chicago. Jock Peterson found himself in Chicago, and guess what? it led to him getting traded to Atlanta and being one of the spark plugs that won him the World
Do
Series.
you want to trade Bellinger though? That's
No, I already said no
but
because
then
okay, I'm going in now. I think the Cubs are signing Xander Bogaerts and either Dansby Swanson and Carlos Correa. I think we're signing two of the three big shortstop free agents.
you know,
Mark
get the I really don't I'm not saying he's not bad or not great, but like I really don't understand why Dansby Swanson is considered elite. I'm sorry, I don't see him being elite. I think he's a good signing, but I hear teams, and this isn't just the Cubs. This is not the Cubs. This is other teams saying like, "Oh, we're a World Series contender if we sign Dansby Swanson." I don't really see that. I mean, he's a
He
good
was
hitter.
one of the focal points on the Atlanta offense
No, he's.
and
I'm not
defense.
saying. I just don't think he is at that elite stature yet. I think if we have like overpaid players in free agency, I think Dansby Swanson is going to be one of those guys, and that's what I'm curious to see. What does Dansby Swanson get? Because if he signs before Bogarts or Correa, that's going to hurt a lot of teams. Because let's say, I don't know, like how much money he might get, but if I'm Bogarts and Correa, I'm asking for like 20, 30 more million in Dansby Swanson because Bogarts and Correa are in their own category. They are way above Dansby Swanson, in my opinion.
I mean, if there was 5 tiers in like goodness or greatness,
I put
I
Dansby in the second tier.
I know it like yeah, like Correa and Bogarts are
Or
one.
one.
They're in one, and I put Swanson in two, but it's a close two. I don't see it being that far of a margin as you are thinking.
I kind of,
Because
I
because
kind of,
Dan's at the second at the shortstop position, he can put up 30 and 30. How many other guys can do that?
I get that, but I just don't see
As in stolen bases.
I just don't see it being him being that guy. He's not that guy yet. I'm not saying he won't be, but I just don't think he is that elite game changer. Like if you get a Correa or if you get a Bogarts and your team's already good, like let's say the Cardinals, for example.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just saying, for example, they're a team that's right there. They made the playoffs from the division. If they get a Correa or a Bogarts, that puts them at that World Series potential. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you say the Cardinals get Dansby Swanson, yeah, they might make the World Series, but if they get a guy like Correa Bogarts, I'm like, yeah, this team could definitely do it. But I think that there's going to be a lot of talks. There's San Diego, who obviously wants a shortstop. They showed that with Trey Turner. The
Yeah.
Cardinals, the
They want
Cardinals.
to put Tatis in center, I heard.
Yeah, look, I really don't know what they're going to do with Tatis. I know they're pissed off with him, obviously,
Yeah, he's
and they
out
have
for like
every
he's out for what 20 more games?
and yeah, they have every reason to be mad at him. I mean, he's dumb, and I think that they want. I think they're sending him a message. I think they're saying, "Get your act together," and I think that's smart because this is a guy that does need to get his act together. But
Yeah.
those are the three guys. I mean, Judge obviously will speculate. I
Mhm.
think it's Giants and Yankees. Those are probably the two only teams, but
I
there's
think it's
also
Giants no matter what.
there's also a lot of great pitchers out there available. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of that, let's get back to no, sorry to cut you off, but let's get back to the signings. Let's just speed through these last ones because there's not really big ones. Phillies signed Taijuan Walker, like you said earlier, 4 years, 72 million. Good signing. Like you said, the Giants signed Mitch Haniger, 3 years, 43 million. But I heard they wanted two outfielders.
well, yeah, they
So,
can still do Judge. I mean, with that
oh yeah,
contract,
they were looking into both of them. So
I
I'm
think
not
that's a
worried.
good deal. Mitch Haniger is really good.
Oh yeah, he is really good. Uh, and then some other ones we don't really need to talk about. But let's anything else to say about baseball? You want to talk about the Sox at all?
No, I mean, I think just over. I mean, they did get Mike Clevenger, so they have the rotation
About
set.
3 years too late.
I don't think what else. I don't know what else they'll do, but I like the Clevenger one. I think that, and this is true. I actually read about this. Pitchers when they go to San Diego, their careers kind of die. I mean, this is what I've
Yeah,
heard, and I kind of agree with it a little bit because look at you, Darvish. Sean Manaea
well,
hasn't been that good.
yeah,
Obviously, we'll see what the case is with Mike Clevenger, but there's a lot of good players still out there. I think that I mean, look, we can talk about Swanson, Bogarts, Carrera, but I mean, there's Carlos Rodon out there. There's Wilson Contreras out there still. Obviously, the judge will break the news. So there's a lot of good players out there still to be signed in these winter meetings. I think that teams that are right there are going to be aggressive. And teams that lose their big players, like the Yankees, possibly, like the Cubs, losing Wilson Contreras, they're going to try to find a guy to replace them, maybe two guys. So a lot can happen. And I think that double check your sources.
Yeah, Arson Judge.
Yeah.
Before we move on, what do you think Judge is in? What do you think the deal looks like?
I don't know the exact deal, but I am confident it's San Francisco. I think that it does. I think he goes home to the Bay.
Can you give like a year and a number? Just throw something out.
I mean, what I heard it was 360 million. I think maybe he might want more. I mean, obviously, it depends what the Yankees are going to give him. I really think it's just going to come down to who gives him most money, because both teams with Aaron Judge can contend. So, what's it going to be? I think that obviously the hometown thing plays in the favor, but I think Aaron Judge goes to the San Francisco Giants, and I think that it's going to be 360, maybe 370 million. I'm not sure on the years, but I think that's his new home. Sorry, Yankee fans, but
he's 30 years old, right?
Yeah,
I think he wants that 10-year deal. Like,
yeah, I mean that makes sense, but he deserves it. I mean, he had a great year and no steroids yet.
No steroids that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of, and as we know that if you go to San Francisco, roids can be in your hands sometimes. So
I also think he's going to San Fran. I think if I had to put a dollar amount on it, I think it's going to be 10 years, 400 million.
I just don't know if a team will break that 400 million.
Or it might be 395.
I think if a team breaks the 400 million, it's going to be.
I mean, they gave Trout got 500.
That's Mike Trout.
Yeah,
Mike Trout's like one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I haven't heard about them.
Yeah. They are currently 9-14. They are let's see, 1.5 games out of the play-in tournament.
Wow. I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah. We are 4th from the bottom in the conference. Let's see the stats. DeMar's averaging 25.5 on let's see, I can't see it. Never mind. 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 35 minutes, let's say. And then we got Zach LaVine, 22 points, kind of digressing from last year.
Yeah, he is.
With also 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Vucevic, 16 points, 11 rebounds and 3 assists. Not terrible. Do you want to guess who's number 4 on the points per game?
I feel like it's got to be P. Will or
nope.
Andre Drummond.
Ayo Dosunmu.
All right. I'm not shocked.
10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Your boy P. Will, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and not even an assist. So that's just the starting 5. So it's not looking good. Not looking good.
No, and I think
they've lost. How many did they lose in a row? They lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Warriors, the Kings, and the Suns. We're in almost middle of December. Jack, what do you think they should do?
I don't know. I mean, it's weird because if you remember, they extended Billy Donovan's contract this year.
Just 1 year.
Just still, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's obviously no Lonzo Ball. That plays a part, but
it plays a big part.
Zach LaVine has not played like his worth at all. I mean,
he's got his bag. He doesn't got to do anything anymore.
As the Bulls have struggled, I've been hearing more people acquiring about DeMar and Vukovic. Now, I know there's a certain NBA prospect that is very highly touted in this year's draft, but
Are you talking about uh
Wananeba,
huh?
Victor Wananeba.
Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah, that's the prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really rough because the Bulls have some good wins. I mean, they beat the Celtics twice. They beat the Heat. They beat the Bucks. Like
Yeah.
they've beaten good teams. It's just I just the effort, the intensity, the guys weren't stepping up, and it sucks because I think the Bulls, even without Alonzo, they played pretty decently last year, and
Yeah,
they just don't
they had that
look.
next man up mentality last year, and how they don't really have it.
I really wish they still had Laurie Markin. He is having a career year in Utah.
I think that's just because he has more of an opportunity.
Well,
I feel like
also,
if he was still on the Bulls, he wouldn't be doing this.
also has
So,
more of a stable coach than
but
Jim Boylan.
yeah, all these people, all these Cup or Bulls fans are saying, "Oh, Marketing would be doing this on the Bulls right now. Why do we get rid of him?" No, he wouldn't. What was he doing on the Cavs last year? Nothing like this. It's because there's no really good players on Utah.
Hey, Colin
Markkinen's playing
Sexton.
all the minutes.
Sexton.
Do they play the same position?
I'm just saying, it's
No,
rough for the Bulls.
but
They need to.
I
They need to get.
it's just that Markkinen is on a bad team getting opportunity.
I think
That's
at the end
all.
of the day, the Bulls need to get a kick in the ass and get some like juice or something.
Yeah, they need that Jordan secret juice from the movie.
I think Billy Donovan needs to like come in and like whip basketballs at them until they wake up.
Throw basketballs at them. Throw some wrenches.
Wake up! Like this is
You can
pathetic.
dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
This is pathetic. Like wake up.
Yeah, it's not good. But let's talk about the games coming up. So it is Tuesday. This week they do play Washington at home on Wednesday. Ugh, I don't.
I don't
I
think we're gonna win that.
yeah. The Mavericks coming to town, so Luka's gonna put up
Oh
50 against
man.
us. We go to Atlanta, and Trey's gonna drop 50 on us. And then next Wednesday, uh, New York Knicks are in town. I think we go 1-3 in that stretch.
I don't even know. This team just has to pick it up, plain and simple. It's pathetic how they're playing, and
Just like us, the energy is not there right
this team is a. I mean, when they're playing good basketball, they're a top 5, 6 team in the East, and
now.
you
Yeah.
just it's should be a lot better. So pick it up. I don't know what else they got to do, but you guys got to play better. Simple.
So let's just move on. Let's move on to
Let's move on to a promising team.
a promising team in the Chicago Bears.
There you go.
What was the last time? Do you remember the last game we talked about?
No,
Was it the Patriots game?
that's the last time we won.
I think that was the last time we did the podcast.
Is it?
That
Here,
was a Monday. We did. Yeah, it was a Monday night, and we did it after the game.
yes, we did.
Yeah. So since then, let's just go over the scores. They lost to the Cowboys 49-29. I think the Cowboys scored on every single possession. They lost to the Dolphins on a shitty was it non or pass interference call that wasn't called, right? Sorry. They lost to the Lions by 1 point, 31-30. They lost to Atlanta 27-24. They lost to the Jets 31-10, but Justin Fields wasn't playing. And then they just lost to the Packers 28-19. Jack, there's only a couple bright spots in that what was it, one, two, three,
I'm
6 game
fine.
stretch. Do you want to name the only couple bright spots?
I'm fine with us losing.
Oh, I'm okay with it too.
I mean,
Name the bright
think
spot.
about this. Think about this. This is where the Bears are today. They have the number 2 pick in the NFL draft and a highly touted quarterback draft. They have a quarterback that is up and coming, and when a
What?
franchise quarterback,
What did I say in the beginning of the season? What did I say? Do you remember that speech?
they have promising young players stepping up offensively and defensively.
Yes.
They have the biggest cap space like ever.
Ever 123 million.
This is perfect for the Bears. I love this.
Uh-huh.
And they're probably going to lose their every game. I mean, the rest of their games they can lose easily. They have
I
four
hope they
games.
lose. I'm hoping because
They have 4 games, and 3 of them are against the Vikings, Eagles, and Bills. Like,
yeah.
I love this. This is awesome because let me tell you the story. The Bears have the number 2 pick. I'm trading that sucker away because there's a team. There's one team, Carl, who has 2 first-round picks this year. Do you know who that is?
Who's that? Who's that?
It's the Lions. And the Lions, they look pretty good this year, right?
Yeah.
But they need that player.
They need that player to put them
the
above and beyond.
They need a quarterback to take them to the next level. Now, here's the thing.
No way.
The Texans are the first pick, right?
They're taking
a quarterback.
Either Stroud or Young.
So here's the thing. Bears aren't taking a quarterback. That's obvious. We know that. But
yeah, we have our quarterback in the future.
If there's a team at the 3rd pick, and there might be, I'm not sure who the 3rd pick is. I think it's the Seattle Seahawks.
It would be the Seahawks because of Denver.
Now, they might take a quarterback. Geno Smith's not a sure thing. So the Lions, I think they have like the 5th and the 14th pick right now.
They have the pick from the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams, who are terrible.
Which is top 7 as of right now, I think. I'm not looking at
pick number 5, I'm pretty sure. My point is, the Lions have 2 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
They need a quarterback. And that's where the Bears say, here you go.
No, and since it's a division rival, they're going to have to give up so much.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That wouldn't be it. You get 2 first-rounders, a second-rounder, and I'm willing. I bet you can get a first-rounder the next year.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick.
That second overall pick is so valuable. And look, if the Bears keep it, they can get that Carter guy from Georgia. And don't get me that guy's Carter. Yeah, he's a tremendous player. Don't get me wrong.
I like Will Anderson there.
But at number 5, you have the chance to get Will Anderson, who was probably going to be the number 1 pick if there weren't quarterbacks at all. And you get a middle round first rounder for a receiver. That's perfect. And how about this? You get 2 second round picks.
So take linemen.
That's what I'm saying. I think for the Bears, this is and I hate to say they're trying to lose, but they're trying to lose, and it's awesome because look, they're fun to watch. I mean, like they're scoring points. Like Justin Fields is doing his thing.
He's doing what needs to be done.
We are in a perfect position to succeed right now and to build a future for this team. And we have all the money. Let's not forget about the money. We have all this money to spend.
Got all the money.
So I love look, Bears fans, I get it. You want to set a winning culture, you know, but at the same time, we have the chance to build something special here. And we have the chance to really take advantage of a highly touted quarterback class. And next year has a highly touted quarterback class. So I think the Bears are like honing in on the Lions. They're saying they're so tired of Jared Goff. They need a quarterback. Yeah. And they are honing on that fact because I think CJ Stroud will be the second quarterback. I think Bryce Young's number 1.
Yeah, I think Bryce Young's number 1.
So CJ Stroud, I mean, they like that guy. They want that guy. And the Bears could be like, you know what, fuck y'all. We'll take him. So I think I like what the Bears are opportunity they're in. I think that this is going to be one of the most fun Bears off seasons in a while. And just, keep scoring 20 points and losing. That's a win for me.
And hey, have you thought about this? Maybe right before they traded Roquan away for that second round pick, maybe they said, hey, why don't you give us a call in off season? Maybe we'll give you your money.
I mean, and hey, I think Chase Claypool's actually played pretty decent so far.
He has been when he's getting the opportunity and getting the ball.
I think people are kind of forgetting about him and to next year's team. But I love it. I love where the Bears are. I'm really this is probably the most excited I've been for the Bears since that
I
2018
I
year.
kind of like uh QB core of Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, and N'Keal Harry. I kind of like it. But if we can get like an absolute number one in there, that'd be amazing.
Well, that's why I would like to see. That's why I would like to see the Bears maybe make a trade. Maybe
Yeah.
trade that
But
first round
did you
pick.
hear uh Jackson Gaba Smith declared for the draft and he
I
won't
don't
be
know if
playing?
he'll be there for us.
I think he hasn't played a lot this year.
I
I
don't
feel
want
like
our. I wouldn't want our first pick to be a receiver.
no, not we're not going to take my five. If we can get both of the Lions picks, the Lions are not good. They're probably going to be 11, 10, 11, 12. There's their pick, and then they have uh Rams pick that will be top five hopefully.
Yeah,
They get that if they get five and say 11, I feel like Smith can fall to us 11 because of the
maybe
injury history.
that's
So
tough. I mean, that would be tough, but I just think for the Bears, they have to be aggressive and they
mhm.
have to shop this pick. I would,
Oh yeah,
if the Bears end up with that number two pick, I would, my jaw would drop if they didn't trade it.
yeah. Uh, absolutely. They needed. Honestly, they have to trade with Detroit. They
I
have
yeah,
to. They
that's the
have
team.
to rob Detroit.
That's the team you trade with, and
Yeah.
there's other teams you can trade with that maybe they'll give us a player. Maybe the Colts who really need a quarterback
Yeah,
give us.
maybe.
Maybe they'll give us. I saw this mock trade. It was two
Mhm.
first rounders and DeForest Buckner. Now
I'm not a big fan of Buckner, honestly.
I'm just saying, like there's a lot. I mean, it's not like it has to be a line. Like there's other teams out there, but I think that with just how like these.
I
Now, I don't get why these quarterbacks, no offense, the CJ Stroud or Bryce Young are so like highly touted, but you got to roll with it. Like
oh yeah.
this is perfect for the Bears. There's many teams out there that want a quarterback and whoever
Hmm.
picks. I mean, I'm going to say another team, Seattle.
Yeah.
A lot of picks from the Broncos.
They got a lot of picks on the Broncos.
What I'm saying. So it would be interesting to see.
I feel like if Denver ends up with the third pick and Seattle has it, I think they'll stay at three. I don't think they'll move up.
I just think there's a lot of room for the Bears to
Honestly,
make noise.
honestly, I can see Seattle trading back and waiting for Will Levis to fall
I
to them.
I also saw they like Anthony Richardson from Florida.
Yeah.
So that is also a good point that they might trade back if he's available.
But of course, we'll talk about more of the draft process
April.
after the Super Bowl. But right now, we need to talk
Keep,
about
keep scoring 20 points and losing.
what?
I said for the Bears, keep scoring 20 points and losing.
Oh yeah, keep Justin Fields keep running 60-yard touchdowns.
Oh,
But let's move on to the final subject. Just a little quick thing here. The college football playoffs are set.
the
We have
Buckeyes.
number one Georgia playing my the Ohio State University. That I know that came up. In
I know
the
you
people.
I know you think you got it right. I know you think that the committee got it right.
Uh, I feel like it should have been. I think they got it right, honestly.
Okay, here's what I've been saying. Do you think Ohio State should have been three?
No, because they lost larger to Michigan than TCU lost to Kansas State.
I think that
See, that's what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about that. Like, oh, like they lost a week after Ohio State did. Okay, big
it's
deal.
I think a lot of people are slipping on this TCU team. I think that it's a great team and
They just lost to Kansas State. Come on,
they're a good team.
they are, and they got Max Duggar, who's going to win the Heisman.
It's Caleb Williams is going to win, but yeah, I think
Caleb Williams
you
has
got it
another.
right. Alabama did not deserve to be in it. People are
Nope.
saying, bulk crap,
But
but here's
a
the thing:
two-loss team has never made the playoffs, and they kept.
Alabama's wins aren't as good. but also
They don't have a top 10 win.
look at. I also want to play a comparison. Look at the comparison of when TCU played Texas and then when Alabama played Texas.
Yeah.
TCU, who played their starter, remember the starter for Texas got hurt in the Alabama game.
Quinn
Alabama squeaked by. TCU steamrolled them out of the stadium. And look,
Ewers is going to be a number one pick.
you can say, oh, they play in the SEC. They didn't even play Georgia.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, I get it, but the only relevant SEC team this year, other than Alabama, would be Georgia, and they didn't play them. They didn't even make their conference championship. Now,
the other relevant one is Tennessee, and they lost to them.
yeah. So I just think I get it. Alabama, like they're a brand like Notre Dame and Ohio State and Michigan,
Worldwide,
like they got the revenues and all that, but they got it right. They did not deserve to be in it. I'm excited. I really wish that they would have set up Ohio State and Michigan in the semifinals. I think that game would have drew so many like TV numbers, but
I think they're shooting for that for the college play or the.
it's impossible. I really, I don't see Georgia losing to anyone. I mean, they just steamroll.
Yeah, Ohio State gives up too many big. They gave up too many big plays against Michigan.
Georgia, they just come in and they just handle business. But
they hammered down.
Committee got it right. Glad to see it.
Oh, before we go on, Michigan's playing TCU in what bowl? The Cotton Bowl?
Something like that.
I think it's the Cotton Bowl or the Orange Bowl.
Look, that's going to be a good game. I know people are saying it's only Michigan, but don't sleep on TCU.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I think they can make a run. I just don't. I think Michigan is good. They are good. Like obviously they're good, but I wouldn't like say it's a done deal that TCU is going to lose. I think that's. I don't think Ohio State's like a done deal. I think if they can.
I think they're all going to be good games. I think all three games will be good. Before we end the episode, just quickly, Jack, what do you think of the 12-team playoff that got approved?
It'll be interesting because
it's only on a 2-year temporary thing, so
it will be interesting. I mean, I like it because Notre Dame's usually in the top 12 every year, so they'll have a chance to fall in it. But I like how it's setting the first round. The home team, it's like you go to the home team or the better teams home team. I think that's cool.
And I like how the top 4 teams get a bye.
And the thing I have a problem with is they include the AAC champion. So if I'm correct, UCF or Tulane would have made it because those were the 2 top teams in that conference. So
I feel like it's gonna start becoming like the March Madness when
I think that
all the champions make it.
I think what it will do is it will improve like the committee's choices. I think they won't feel as pressured to put teams in and put teams out because like let's say they do it, Alabama might not have a bye, but they're still in. So like So I think that it's it'll be interesting. I think that it'll create obviously a lot of competition between the schools. I think it'll create a lot of matchups people want to see that you usually can't see because of just conference and non-conference schedules. But, we'll see.
Sorry to cut you off again, but was this Nick Saban's last year at Alabama, or is it next year?
So maybe next year. But
no, because I remember him saying it. I remember him saying like this year or next year's gonna be his last.
No idea. I have no idea.
Okay, whatever. But anyways, anything else to say?
No.
No.
I would like to say this. In my fantasy football league, Vern, I beat you. The same league that we're in, I am the hottest team in the league. I was 0-5. I want to tell people right now, for people that think about giving up, for people that have hard days, for people that struggle to breathe, for people who can't get up and be motivated, let me tell you this. I was 0-5 in my fantasy league. They laughed at me. Even Carl laughed at me.
I didn't laugh at you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
They laughed at me. They said I ain't going to do anything. ESPN said I only have a 4% chance to make the playoffs. But you know what? I made trades. I got Deebo Samuel, and then I turned him into Devontae Adams. And here I am. I am 7-6. I am 7-1 in my last 8 games. I have the most points in the league. I have a chance to get a bye in the playoffs, and I have the best quarterback and the best receiver and one of the best
I have
direct
the best
deals.
quarterback.
No, I do actually. Jalen Hurts is QB1 in fantasy.
I saw Mahomes as QB1. Let me check.
No, look at the point. Jalen Hurts has the most points in fantasy football.
I'll fact check this.
Ramondre Stevenson was a draft steal. Just think
Oh.
about that. When you're ready to give up, don't. Stick in the fight and keep going. I beat the number 1 team.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I'm in this. And I'm going to win the fantasy football championship after being 0-5. Don't let people you can't
I'm
do.
making the playoffs too, Jack, once I beat our commissioner.
Don't let people tell you you can't do something. Do it. Achieve your goals, achieve your dreams. I'm so happy for my team. Played amazing. I scored the most points last week. Rashad White season.
Do you have a dream?
This is amazing. I can't wait for the play. Carl, I might play you in the playoffs the first round.
Yeah, and I'll beat your fucking ass.
We'll see what the matchups are. Probably
Yeah.
not. But I
Good
love
luck.
I'm feeling great about my team.
I'll tell you
I'm
this.
very happy. This is awesome. I didn't make the playoffs in my other leagues, so this is awesome. I'm glad my team was able to do this. Thank you, Devontae Adams, and thank you, Jalen Hurts. But when you wake up, you can do it. Never forget that.
Before we end, I am 6-7, but I haven't. If I win this week, I'm in the playoffs.
That's a lot on the line, Carl.
Yeah, I know. I think if I win, I get in. I'm pretty sure. Win and get in.
Oh, I would assume so because there's like 17.
The whole league is still in it except for like Caleb.
Literally, the only way I don't make the playoffs is if I score like 30 points only.
Yeah.
And lose. But if I win and Drew wins, I am the number 2 seed.
And Drew's number 1?
No, Mike is.
Oh.
Drew would be the 3.
Oh, but congrats. Good job on that. I'll tip your cap. I'll tip a cap.
I'm awaiting my call from an NFL team to be the next general manager.
Okay, guys. This was the welcome back episode. Hopefully we don't leave you guys again. This was the Chi City Boys. This is Jack Thiel. I am Carl Liza. We'll see you next week.